Ruhe bitte. Aufnahme. Schon Abfahrt. Lebenszeichen 35 Erste.
Das kleine Krokodil. Hab scharfe Zähne und davon ganz schön viel. Ich schnapp mir, was ich schnappen kann. Ja, schnapp zu, weil ich das so gut kann. Schnie, schna, schnappi, 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 schnapp. Schnie, schna, schnappi, 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 schnapp.
Hello everybody, so as you know, today I need to do my presentation about the German new cinema, the German films. As you also know, I'm Jewish, so thank you for choosing me to do this presentation to you. I appreciate that. Now let's change the music. Because you know nothing about German cinema, and every word I will be saying today might make you believe that this is a correct information. So technically right now, as a Jewish, I have the power in my hand to change the whole history, and my grandpa would be alive. Just kidding, I swear, I just kidding, he is alive, please laugh, okay? Actually, I'm afraid for Raymond, so I will do what I'm supposed to do and to do my presentation about the German film industry. Let's begin. In 1962, a group of 26 young German directors wrote and signed the Oberhausen Manifesto, which boldly declared the old German cinema dead. Papa's kino is dead. Papa's movies are dead. The signers rejected the existing German film industry and began to build a new industry. But before we go deeply to the new German cinema, I would like to explain you more specific what was the reasons for all this huge shift in the German film industry. For that, we need to go back to 1930s. The Nazism rise had killed the bold advance of the German directors. Most of them immigrated to Hollywood. The Nazism had the most powerful propaganda campaigns ever, which was dominated the German cinema for the next 12 years, until like 1942. Film became an important medium of the propaganda. Have a look on one of the clips the Nazism propaganda have made in. In 1945, after the war, the German film industry was in disaster. But regardless for the devastation, Germans began to make films again. Lack of money, however, and more important, the loss of the historical continuity had disaster results. In the first post-war years, a few films tried to deal with the immediate past, but most people want to be spared the memory and attempt to forget again in romantic entertainment films. This repeats the old forms again, but without the political message. Those 26 young directors, which I told you about them, that wrote on the manifesto, will become succeed soon. Volker Seldorf, Wilhelm Wenders, Werner Herzog, and the director, of course, of the movie Fear Eats the Soul, which we'll expand on him later, Rainer Werner Fassbinder. Well, all of them were a big part in the new German cinema.
A group of young filmmakers and writers called for an end to these stereotyped films and demanded a separation from merely commercial considerations, a new language and new production conditions. It was the starting signal for the new German cinema.
Der Grundgedanke dieses neuen deutschen Kinos gewesen, dass wir uns...
The basic idea of the new German cinema is to make films again, which are important and have something to say. Films born out of our own life and experience.
Stecken herauskommen.
The German society has a need for looking at itself, and it also has enough distance to the fascist trauma to do so, and that's why we are making films.
We want a more active spectator. That's to say, not somebody who's sitting there as a victim of a film, but somebody who may have his own attitude toward what he's seeing.
Designers rejected the existing German film industry and began to build a new industry. Those young Germans were seeking expression using a fresh film language. Their short, unstructured films produced on a very low budget and reflected their philosophy that the German film should concern itself with the German problems. The materialism of post-war society, the alienation of youth, and the moral disaster of the Nazis.
We are all great movie fans, and we go to cinemas, and we went to cinemas when we were 15 years old and 20 years, and 5 and 6 times a week. And we always, what we saw was Manhattan, Hong Kong, California, Marseille, Paris, Rome. So I think we have a terrible need to show that there are places here too, and that there are people living here too, and we want to show them, you know. We wondered why aren't we ever happening on a screen? Why is it always the others?
So the Young German Film Commit was founded in 1965 as a result of the Oberhausen Manifesto and established to promote young artists and to contribute to artistic development of German cinema and to encourage them. Despite the foundation of the Young German Film Committee in 1965, the directors of the New German Cinema was rejected cooperation with the existing film industry and needed often depended on money from television. The situation changed after 1974. The Film Franz Haberkomben, in English it's a Film and Television Accord, was agreed between the Federal Republic's main broadcasters and the German Federal Film Board, a government body which created in 1968 to support filmmaking in Germany. This accord, which has been repeatedly extended to the present day, provides for the television companies to make available an annual sum to support the productions of films which are suitable of both theatrical distribution and television presentation. For their influences, the new generation of the filmmakers looked at Italian neorealism and the French New Wave, but combined with references to Hollywood cinema. Films such as Yesterday Girl in 1966, The Wolf of God in 1972, and Fassbinder's Fear Eats the Soul in 1974 found international acclaim and critical approval. The new German cinema also allowed for female directors to come to the fore and for the development of the feminist cinema such as Helge Sander and von Trotta.
Lonely, I'm Mr. Lonely.
Okay. One of the biggest issues in the new German cinema is the loneliness. All of the movies deal with the loneliness of the human people and the dark parts of the life. For example, the movie The Marriage of Maria Brown, the relationship between the couple is based on a proposition that sharing loneliness is the best that two people can achieve.
Aufgrund einer harten, allzu harten Aktion des Kölner Schäfers. 7 Minuten noch. 7 Minuten.
Lass uns Zeit haben.
We also can see loneliness on the movie Fear Eats the Soul.
Ali auch viel allein. Immer Arbeit, immer trinken, nix andere. Vielleicht Deutsche denken Wahrheit, Arabisch nix Mensch.
Best known of all the filmmakers, Rainer Werner Fassbinder is the enfant terrible of the new German cinema. In the last 7 years, he has made no less than 23 films, written and directed as many theatre and television plays, as well as acting in many of them. Fassbinder's films are usually shot within 10 to 15 days and made on very low budgets. Many were produced for television. He uses the same group of actors and does not disguise the fact that his films are shot at 1 or 2 locations or in a few rooms. The self-imposed banality is deliberate. The power of his work comes from Fassbinder's conviction that tragedy is inevitable. His themes are alienation and oppression. There are scenes of domestic despair, seemingly banal, but raised through his art to the level of tragedy.
Fassbinder always found himself on the outskirts of social norms. He provoked the public not only through his films, but also through his anti-capitalist views, addiction to drugs and alcohol, and homosexuality. Perhaps this is why much of his whole long career has devoted to film about the oppressed and persecuted and the underdogs of society. As a consequence, we see a number of complicated relationships throughout his work, as in The Bitter Tears of Petra von Ken.
Lass das. Ich kann doch nichts dafür, dass ich dich liebe.
Meine Tochter liebt ein Mädchen. Seltsam.
Lass uns doch nett sein zusammen, ja?
Bin ich gemein, ich sag die Wahrheit, Petra. Lüg mich an. Bitte lüg mich an.
In his movies, Fassbinder's theatricality is hard to miss. He began as a theater director, and this continued to influence his later filmmaking as he's using long shots. To show you how slow and how long his shots, I've made for you a small clips that showing you these slow and long shots.
It's oh so quiet. Shh, shh. It's oh so still. Shh, shh. You're all alone. Shh, shh. And so peaceful until.
Fassbinder had another strong interest, the relationship between the past and the present in Germany and the implications of the Nazi chapter on the newborn society. Those themes permeate the narrative and mise-en-scene in, for example, The Marriage of Maria Braun in 1979 and Lola in 1981 and Veronica Vost in 1981 also. All the three films that I just told you about take women as a metaphor of change in the society or in the environment. Okay, I would like to show you many examples from those movies that I just told you, but let's do that in a different way. Let's play a game. I present you a scene and you will tell me which one of the three answers that I give it to you is correct. Are you ready? I hope so, because I'm not ready. So let's begin with the movie The Marriage of Maria Braun.
Nicht aus Liebe weinen, es gibt im Leben nicht nur den einen. Es gibt so viele auf dieser Welt, ich liebe jeden, der mir gefällt, fällt.
So this is the scene and the question is what this scene symbols. A. The beginning of the sexual preference in German society. B. The shift in the German music industry, or C, symbols for the woman status. Let's hear some music, German music.
Meine Mutter und mein Vater, die seien zwar nette Leid, gibt's irgendwas zum Feiern, da seien die zwar dabei. Meine Mutter und mein Vater, die zwei, die seien ein Hit. Sie singen und sie tanzen, ans Heimgehen denken's nicht. Ja, immer wenn was los ist, mein Vater ist dabei. Er kann's halt nicht lassen, zum Feiern nimmt er frei. Er macht so gerne Stimmung und singt so gerne ein Lied. Er ist ein super Kumpel, wie selten nur angibt. Meine Mutter und mein Vater, die seien zwar nette Leid. Gibt's irgendwas zum Feiern, dann seien die zwar dabei. Meine Mutter und mein Vater, die zwei, die seien ein Hit. Sie singen und sie tanzen, ans Heimgehen denken's nicht.
Okay, time out. The correct answer is, in my opinion, is A. The scene is about a woman who is attracted to another woman. This symbolizing the change in the German society when sexual preference was a public issue. Accepting same-sex relationships in Germany was a step towards becoming a modern society. Okay, let's move to the second question about the movie Lola.
Ziehen Sie sich aus.
Nackt? Das kostet extra.
Okay, this is the scene, and my question is, what is the statement of this scene? A statement about the woman's status. B, a statement about the poor situation of the German citizens. Or C, a huge statement about how Chipotle steal your money and taking extra cost for guacamole, and the customers have nothing to do and to pay the extra money because Chipotle without guacamole is like Breaking Bad without smoking weed. Sorry, Raymond.
Meine Mutter und mein Vater, die seien zwar nette Leid, gibt's irgendwas zum Feiern, da seien die zwar dabei. Meine Mutter und mein Vater, die zwei, die seien ein Hit, sie singen und sie tanzen, ans Horn denken's mit.
Okay, time out. The correct answer is all of the answers are correct. We can see a statement about the woman's status. We are also seeing a statement about the citizens and the poor situation they are. And the most important thing, we can see how the Chipotle's customers cannot say no to guacamole. Question number 3 about the movie Veronica Voss.
Finden Sie nicht auch, dass alle Künstler sich vereinigen sollten?
Sie meinen so als eine Art von Gewerkschaft?
Oh nein, um Gottes Willen, nein. Für die Freiheit der Kunst. Kunst braucht Freiheit. Wie soll sie sonst die Menschen frei machen können?
So the question is, what is the woman symbol? A, the earring for freedom. B, the German's arrogance. Or C, the classes differences in the society.
Meine Mutter und mein Vater, die seien zwar nette Leid, gibt's irgendwas zum Feiern, da seien die zwar dabei. Meine Mutter und mein Vater, die zwei, die seien ein Hit, sie singen und sie tanzen, ans Horn denken's mit.
Okay, time out. The answer is, in my opinion, the earring for freedom. We know the German history and we can imagine how strong they wanted their freedom back, especially the freedom in the art.
In 1973, Fassbinder took up the theme of the immigrant worker, a sore subject in today's Germany. Fear Eats the Soul, a double prize winner at Cannes, tells the heroic love story of a colored worker and an older charwoman. Landscape rarely exists in Fassbinder's films. His world is a room. The scenes are shot through a doorway, a window, or a mirror. The characters sit and talk around tables in motionless tableau, living as though in a prison. Love is a utopia.
Fear Eats the Soul 1974 is about an unlikely affair between an older German lady and a Moroccan worker. He explores the social and racial tensions in what was the Western Germany. The private and the public, the inner and the outer, the new and the old. Loneliness is a common theme in Fassbinder's works, together with the idea that power becomes a determining factor in all human relationships, seem condemned to start an often violent control over those around them. The two are drawn to each other out of mutual loneliness. The social and racial tensions were strong. Germany did not accept the different. The movie has a big statement about the German citizens and the unwanted difference.
Alles gucken.
Macht ja nichts draus. Sind bloß neidisch, die Leute.
Nix verstehen, neidisch.
Neidisch ist, wenn jemand nicht sehen kann, dass ein anderer was hat.
Ah, verstehen.
Und die sind alle bloß neidisch. Alle. Alle.
Warum weint du?
Weil ich so glücklich bin auf der einen Seite. Und auf der anderen Seite halte ich das alles nicht mehr aus. Dieser Hass von den Menschen. Von allen. Allen.
That's all for today. Thank you for the watching and No questions. No questions, please. Thank you very much. If you have a question, so I would like to answer no question. Thank you.